How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Spiral Vision. Welcome back. This time, not a topic, but this time it is a review, and we are reviewing Jordan Peele's latest film, his third outing in directing. And what is that title, Anthony?
It is Nope.
Nope.
Very interesting titles, Jordan Peele. He has some very great titles.
Yeah, I was thinking about it's simple titles, but not in a bad
But
way.
they got you.
By the way, I forgot to introduce ourselves. I am Juan Cordero, and by my side I have Anthony Romero.
Hello, I'm Anthony.
I'm Juan. Um, so yeah, today
All right.
we are reviewing Nope. It's been a busy weekend. We tried to get this up early as possible, but it's been a hectic weekend in our work life. Uh,
Mhm.
Two of us. But let's go ahead and get started. Don't want to give away too much because it's kind of hard to give away a lot of what the plot is. Mainly what the film focuses on, but simple is
Yeah.
simple plot. I mean, I guess what would hook the people in is about a character named OJ, played by Daniel Kaluuya, and M's, played by Kiki Palmer. Two siblings, both of my brothers and sisters, who take over their family heritage of a farm, who tame horses and also train horses, but also work in the industry for like background animals or main
Hmm.
star animals, for anything in that type of field, commercials, films, etc. Um, Essentially, out of nowhere they get a little visitor, and they have to deal with a essentially alien, a UFO. I mean, the trailers does say it is an alien. We
Yeah.
could say
It's
that.
something. It's something in
Um,
the clouds.
yeah, and they have a fun neighbor who is opening their own little amusement park, played by Steven Yeun. Yeun, right? That's how you say his name.
Yeah. Stephen Young.
A character's name is Jupiter. And there's some more backstories to there. And then as they try to, hopefully, captured and have people believe them that there is an alien around their backyard. A bunch of fun, wild, mysterious ride in entails into their story.
Yeah. It's a interesting take on a sci-fi.
It is.
It's an interesting take on a sci-fi story. Yeah.
It's very hard to describe it just because not it's not that it's hard to describe it. It's how people have been describing it and how it has been promoted as. That's been kind of difficult. But
Mhm.
it seems like we're pausing, but it's not that we're pausing because we
It's
don't
just hard
like
to
it.
talk yeah.
What were you gonna say?
It, it's really hard to describe what happens without trying to give anything away. And I think the best way to go into this movie is not knowing much. Not, you know, I think, yeah, that's how I went into it at least. Not
Yeah.
really knowing what to expect and coming out. Uh, I think it's a great film. I think it's I think it's his best in my opinion, but I do think it's a fantastic movie.
Elaborate more on your review, because since you pretty much just
Yeah,
say you love it, that
I
way
was just
might as
gonna
well
throw it off
give.
to you, but
Yeah, no, well, I mean,
um,
yeah, I would agree with you. Before we could toss it back and forth, I would agree with you. I love the hell out of this film.
yeah,
It is hard to market it, and it's hard to describe it, because I would agree going open minded, but one of the biggest issue with that open mind is that essentially, if you're going with the open mind, you're gonna still think of it as a Jordan Peele movie, as you should, because it is a Jordan Peele film. But one of the best thing is that could be a double-edged sword, where that could be the good thing or that could be the bad thing. Where if you're hoping for another Get Out or Us, you're not gonna get that here. Are you gonna get a smart enough, well done sci-fi film that it does say a lot, but with very it says a lot, but without trying to take away the enjoyment of what makes a sci-fi film entertaining.
mhm.
And I would say that's the best way to say it, to tell people it's going.
I mean, if you do like Jordan Peele's style and his way of telling a story and his structure also, you're gonna like this movie. You know, or I think you would like it, or at least appreciate it. I think there's a lot of Jordan Peele isms in this movie.
Yeah.
A lot of animals. The way they use the music in this movie, I think, is incredible. But
Yes.
uh, even like the pick songs that they play at one scene,
The Neil
I think
drops.
it's perfect. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's someone that I think has style, and even though this film does feel different from the other two, it's still very much still feels like a Jordan Peele movie. This doesn't feel like anyone else could do it, and I think that that's one of the things that it really like I like about it
Yeah.
is that it does feel creative, it feels new. Um, it's definitely influenced by a bunch of blockbuster sci-fi alien movies,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think the what he decides to do with everything, it's really creative, and I do love this movie a lot. I appreciate a lot of it.
Yeah. I'm there with you. It is a very classic tale of how sci-fi films or even blockbuster films were done early 70s, 80s when the central summer type of theme films started to come out.
Mhm.
But I will say that I mean the biggest influence is Jaws. Jaws or even Close Encounters.
Yeah, I
But
think he even said those two in like an
yeah,
interview, right?
yeah, and you can see a lot of it. But it is I will say it is a very Jordan Peele film, but it is also I don't know. It's hard when as reviewing the film, I'm trying to dip my toes into what would be pros and cons for people. And for me, that I really love the film, it's hard for me to give it cons because most of the cons that you see out there is or the negative or it's just like from bad to kind of decent reviews is always that it's complicated, it's hard to follow, and is essentially just a bad script, no characters. There's a bunch of lists of stuff, and I personally did not see that at all. I saw everything the opposite of what they list where I
Yeah,
saw
same.
characters.
Same.
Yeah,
A lot of the problems I keep seeing come up was some of the same reasons why I like the movie so much. It is something that you weren't expecting, and it is something that um, kind of plays with that idea of the whole alien mystery element. Um, it's not so. It is a straightforward film, but it also has a lot to it that makes it not so straightforward.
yeah,
A lot of the way it's structured and told is interesting. Again, I don't want to spoil anything, but it is kind of told in sections almost,
yeah,
and I don't know. I think a big pro for me too is the performances. I think everyone does a solid job. Um, Daniel Kaluuya, Kiki Palmer. I think their relationship with each other does feel super natural. It feels very raw, and
yeah,
though it's not like uh, though it's not anything that we've never seen before. Like we've seen it before, that kind of relationship. You know, I still think that they play off each other and they do those characters really well. Daniel Kaluuya plays someone who's really reserved, quiet, but it's his subtlety that I think um, really shines through. I think the new guy, I'm blanking out on his name. It's going to come me right now, but um, he's incredible. He's really funny.
yeah.
I think Steven Yeun's pretty great too
Yes, but
for
yeah,
what he does in that. Yeah, I definitely do love the acting. I don't know how you feel about that.
I enjoy the acting. I for the very small cast that it has because it doesn't really have a big cast, but for the very limited cast it has, it really does a lot with. It makes everyone's decisions and everyone's choices as important. Well, I mean, decisions and choices are almost the same thing, but like
Yeah,
the way they played it, even within the actors and the characters, where everyone has something to play with, it's a dash of Spielberg's early stuff like Jaws and Close Encounters, and even reminiscences of E.T. or Poltergeist. But it's that, and with a little bit of dash of something like you would see in sci-fi films such as Villeneuve's, like Arrival and um, Dune, where it's very has it has elements where it could become a very serious sci-fi film or a very
Yeah,
important sci-fi film, but it then focus on being a thriller and an entertaining like roller coaster of a film with different emotions, good scares, good comedy, good action, and even just that last 30 minutes or so, it's just edge of your seat of
yeah,
everything that's going
it's
on.
great. It's tension building. I think that's a thing that Jordan Peele does well in all three of his movies.
Yeah,
He's a great tension builder. He's really good at uh, putting you at the edge of your seat. And I think in this movie he does it really well. I also think a reason why that tension is so incredible is the sound design. I think the sound design is my second favorite thing about the movie. Is like the choices he makes for the sound of the UFO or whatever. I don't want to talk about it too much, but it's creative. It's unique. It's horrifying, uh, and it's pretty simple too.
yeah,
I love the music choices that they do. There's one scene with music, and I think it's pretty great. Um, Cinematography is fantastic. I love it. The way that it will show a scene of a character in a barn or in like a barn yard type of thing, and you can see something passing by it in the little cracks and crevices of the barnyard.
yeah.
It's awesome. It's cool that they're able to do something like that and make it so again subtle. And I don't know. I really like the cinematography though.
Yeah, even at times the whole their farm of the A Woods family, it feels like a bottle film, like literally a bottle film with the UFO being around them. When things get more serious, there's nowhere else to go besides their big open field of their backyard essentially, and inside their
Yeah,
house.
that setting is a perfect area for that kind of situation to happen. You know, they're so disconnected from the outside life, and the moment we see them get back to that nightlife and stuff, they come right back to this area, almost like they're sucked in
Yeah,
and trapped, and it's pretty great. Capturing the emptiness of the desert and how wide it can be at times is
yeah.
cool.
How it can feel so reserved and so isolated from the cities just being like an hour
Yeah,
away or 30 minutes away. We both seen it on the weekend. And right away, by that time, all the reviews were coming out, and everybody was already very mixed to divisive on it, and had a lot of problems. And there's even people been complaining that I don't know why it's a big deal now, but one thing that I've been hearing people complain is that movies shouldn't be done to have multiple viewings to understand it. And I don't know, like this movie in one viewing, I got everything and the gist of the main plot, the stuff that he's trying to do, because at times it does feel very experimental.
yeah.
But
This is definitely a film he experiments a lot on.
yes, and
Not
but
a lot, but he does his experiment.
and I think what he experiments in isn't really so much on the techniques or the cinematography or the scenes. It's mostly on the script. He experiments on the script on storytelling. He tries to tell a story from a different narrative, from a different point of view, from a different outcome. And I think that's what makes it very experimental for him. But it's hard to really see people like, oh, I hate it, I don't like it. When it's for me, it felt refreshing to see a film that at the same time I had fun and went with it, but I didn't feel like it was dumb. And one of the big things that you do hear people say is that, oh, it feels very dumb.
I think that this is a with a story that is like this, and with being backed up by Universal, having a lot more money, a bigger budget, and doing something that's sci-fi related. I think that there is an easy way to make this formulaic
Yeah.
and make this uh, very cliche. And you can argue there's a lot of cliches in this movie. Sure, I mean it feels like more of a homage
Yeah.
to those types of
Or
movies,
they're
but
on purpose.
yeah. But if you want to argue that, that's fine.
Yeah.
Um, I do feel like that Jordan Peele got that money and did some risk, and I think made he made something that felt risky, um, especially in this genre. And I really liked it. I can understand that people are going to walk into this movie thinking one thing and coming out not really knowing what they kind of saw.
Yeah.
You know, even I went in, and when I came out, I was like, that's not what I was expecting. But I was uh, surprised in a good way. I was happy that he did something different and made some risk with his storytelling. You know, I I like it a lot. I think it's better than his other ones. That's my personal opinion. And I still really like Get Out. And I still think Us is a fun, creepy movie.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think Nope is fantastic.
I I would be up there where it's my second favorite of his. Get Out is
Same.
still my favorite
Oh,
because
damn it.
it's Get Out was just watching Get Out for the first time at the movie theaters was like a
Oh,
breath of
yeah.
fresh air, and that movie just had a big impact. I mean, one of the few films I actually went to go see more than once. Us, I seen it once. Kind of got the gist of it. I really I love Us. I like Us. I love Get Out and I love Nope. But I would still put Get Out as my number one. Nope, my second. Us is three. But they're not bad films. They're good films.
Mhm.
I wish I could. I'm always, if anyone who's watching, I'm always the fair type where I'm always gonna be trying to put myself in other people's shoes, and I could. And this is a hard film for me to do because I love the film, but every time I try thinking of the negatives or seeing other people's negatives or pros and cons, I never come out ever questioning anything, everything that was given to me. And not for anyone, that doesn't mean we're smarter than you, that doesn't mean we got it and F you guys because you didn't. It's none of that.
I would say like if I had to uh, pick a con with this movie, um, the only thing I would really point out is that there was like two characters uh, that I felt were like I don't know. They could have been like they're pretty unnecessary, but I also don't. It's something that I don't really care about. So like
Yeah.
if they were in the movie, if they weren't, it's not that big of a deal. But I do think that they were just a little unnecessary. One even being kind of like a red herring,
Yeah.
just to add like artificial tension almost because you don't care about this character and you don't even see their face.
Yeah.
But um, but again, like it's something where I'm watching a movie to have fun and or this movie at least to have fun, and it brings the thrills, it brings the enjoyment. It does feel like a roller coaster in ways where it's I don't want to call it messy, but it's kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
And again, I do not mean that in a bad way. If people take that in a bad way, that's fine. But
Yeah.
I like how it's told. I really do like. I just like where the story goes.
By the hour and a half is all it covers the main story and the main morale, the main plot, and then the rest it's just straight closing up, conclusion, and edge of your seat action.
Trying to build that tension and
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know,
it's hard to
but
say because there's certain stuff that needs to be accomplished for so there's some things that needs to be accomplished and the tension with what with the problem that they're
yeah,
dealing with, essentially the UFO and whatever else they need to get to. Like if they have to get from point A to point B, imagine if there's a UFO in your way, essentially. And
mm-hmm.
but I would say that tension and that edge of your seat is wellly done if you're invested in the story and in these characters. And I will give you that. If you're not invested by the hour and a half, by the end, you probably won't feel the excitement that me and Anthony probably felt. We got
Yeah.
wet. We got moist. No, I'm
Oh no.
kidding. uh, what would you give it? So, early on the Thor review, we did it. We kind of gave it from like a 1 to 10 on the film. This time we're gonna do a little different. We're gonna do 1 to 5 on Film Spiral. Since we're on Spiral Vision, we might as well uh, milk the fuck out of the name as much as possible. So 5 being favorite movie of all time, best, amazing, better than whatever. It's we moist our pants, we cream ourselves or whatever, and
Man,
then
stop.
and then four is essentially not bad, good. We love it, but we like it, but we don't love it. We don't think is amazing. We think is good enough, decent. 3 is on the cuffs of like there are some enjoyment, there are some stuff, some really good and stuff thing we might like, but we wish it was a better movie. We just thought wasn't different. 2 would be more like you know what, better on Netflix, better at home. Don't waste your time, don't waste your money. If you want to watch it, wait until you have more accessibility to it. 1 being just bullshit. We don't love it. We hate this a lot.
One being Morbius, for sure.
You have not seen Mobius.
I'm not. I'm never gonna see that movie. So
I would give Morbius a 2. Watch it at home. But what we give Jurassic World Dominion?
I give that a fucking zero, bro. With a line to it too.
You give it a -1.
-1.
Uh,
So
what would you give? Nope.
I would give this one a clean 4.5
Okay,
because
cool.
I love it. I don't think it's the best movie in the world. I think it's probably my second favorite movie of the year. Um, I think you should go see it at IMAX, and you should go see it again in IMAX when you're done seeing it in IMAX. Just see it again and again. Fantastic movie. Everyone does a great job. Uh, yeah, it's incredible. I love this movie. It's great. Probably closer to a 4 than a 5. I'd probably
Okay.
give it like a four and a half.
I mean,
If I had
4.5 is kind of similar to that. I I would give it a 5. Honestly, the more I think about it, I love it, and even after the weekend, I kept thinking more about it, and I kept trying to find the flaws, and I kept trying to find everything that just people were complaining about. People fairly gave it their critique, and I kept finding everything like that probably confused me, and that probably I didn't think about because I was just still moist and wet and off of the hype train from coming out of the sticky movie theaters. But then,
stop, man.
but then
It's
after
detailed.
but after I dried up from the moistness and everything, I kept thinking like, you know what? Let me think of the very, anything negative, or let me think of stuff that personally I was just confused by. And
Mm-hmm.
when I thought about it hard, and when I tried to find the loophole back in my memory bank of remembering the film, I got all the answers again.
I think whether you like Jordan Peele or not, you could admit that when you come out of his movies, you'll always be thinking about them
Yeah,
because he leaves you with an impact, and I think it's what makes me look up to him so much.
yeah,
Um, Even with just Get Out and Us, I looked up to him, but now with Nope, um, I really see him as someone who's really inspirational, at least to me.
yeah,
Uh, he's super he's super thoughtful, and he his movies leave you with something else. He leaves you with an impact, and I love dissecting them and thinking about them more and more. He's very creative.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Love Nope.
I would be there with you. Well, that's all we have for today, guys. I mean, we highly recommend Nope. Just go and be surprised, honestly. And if you go in and you don't like it, don't kill us. I mean, we was like I said, we were just enjoying it because we were wet and moist. I was, at least. I can't vouch for Anthony.
Dude, you gotta stop.
I, I'm
Gotta stop
I,
using those words.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's
um,
just moistness.
I mean, I guess.
But yeah, I mean, don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow us on IG and TikTok under Spiral Vision Production, and in YouTube Spiral Vision, all one word, no hyphen and no space. We're not doing that. Who's keeping whose last name in the marriage? None of that.
Mhm.
Uh, But yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, leave a comment what you think about Nope. If you enjoyed it, you love it, you hate it, give us your reasons why you hate
Let
it.
us know.
Yeah, let us know. I'll be down. Oh shit. Zoom and podcasting very have to be under a short time span. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye everybody.